What is up, guys? It's your boy Rick Gakis, and today we are going to be showcasing how to complete the special Equilibrium dungeon quest, The Way Between. Filled with secrets, hidden encounters, and more, this quest is how you unlock all of the different Praxic blade upgrades that involve the dungeon. So everything you're seeing on screen right now, including a brand new power core and the final exotic catalyst. Not to mention, this is also how you get the exotic catalyst for the Heirloom exotic bow. So let's get started. Alright, now first things first, a bit of a warning, guys. Just so you know, to fully complete this quest, you will need to do the entire Equilibrium dungeon like 5 times. So make sure you set aside enough time, and if you still don't know what you're doing in the dungeon, check out my complete Equilibrium dungeon guide linked right up above. Now, as for the quest, you're going to pick it up in the Tharsis outpost, talk to Anor, as you can see right here, and she will give it to you. This is actually what you need to get into the dungeon in the first place. Then your next step is to complete said Equilibrium dungeon. So you go through it completely normally, you don't have to do anything different, and after you kill the final boss, as you can see, the quest will update and you're given a special relic. Then what you need to do is visit the Praxic temple and bring this relic back to its place. So, the Praxic Temple is located inside the Equilibrium dungeon. Specifically, you're going to start up the dungeon, head to the first encounter. You will need to kill the enemies in this first encounter area, guys, in order to actually progress and be able to enter into the area of the temple you need to go to. But then, before you start the first encounter, you don't need to start the encounter yet to do this, you head to the back of this area right here, the door will open, and then you head inside and place your first relic on this object right here. And when you do, the quest step is going to update, and now you need to find another artifact further in the dungeon. You need to fully complete the dungeon after finding that artifact, and then you need to place the artifact back in this temple. So, as for where the next artifact is, simply continue with the Equilibrium dungeon. Specifically, you want to beat the first encounter. After you do, don't interact with the ship to progress the dungeon. Instead, head inside the temple and then head off to the right. At this point forward, all of these secret relics you are finding will require the Praxic blade to get. So make sure you have a Praxic blade on for all of this stuff. So, you're going to head inside here, like I said, and you are going to use your Praxic blade to destroy this floating sphere. When you do, it's going to drop a taken circle beneath it. Now, the entire team needs to be standing within this circle to progress. As you can see, when they are, then you're going to essentially be teleported to the Shadow Realm. And you need to start killing ads. Specifically, there is going to be the Fallen Apprentice, which is going to have an immune shield around him. So you need to build up your Shadow ranking to Shadow Master. Now, to do that, guys, you need to look around for essentially the Taken Acolyte eyes. As you can see right here, when you destroy these eyes, they drop the shadow pools on the ground that you need to progress your meter all the way to Master. When you are Master, you can use your Shadow ability, right, that's bound to your grenade button, to hit the Fallen Apprentice that takes down the shield, and then, as you can see right here, suddenly another circle will appear on the side of the wall. You can hit it with your lightsaber, and then that will let you progress forward. So you're going to head in the direction you see me head in the background gameplay. Along the way, you're going to find more of these like Taken Acolyte eyes. You want to destroy them. Again, that will not only progress your shadow meter, but also it will give you 15 seconds more time. Importantly, if any of your team walks over this, it gives you the meter progression and the time for your entire team. So anyways, you're going to get to this area, you need to slay out on ads, get back to Master, destroy the Fallen Apprentices, then you have another wall to shoot through with your, or hit with your lightsaber to get through, then you're going to keep going forward until eventually you have more ads spawning right here. And it's going to be the same thing. kill the ads, destroy the acolyte eyes whenever you see them, build up your meter. Finally, you're going to destroy those fallen guys. Then you're actually going to have an object you can hit with your saber right here on the wall. When you do, that is going to actually unlock this switch you can hit with your shadow ability. Then you will be teleported back into the normal dimension. This room will be opened up and you can walk inside and grab this relic. Now at this point, your next step is again to get a completion of the Equilibrium dungeon. So you're going through the rest of the dungeon completely normally, guys. And then at the very end, after you kill the boss, you will have the relic found and dungeon cleared requirements checked. And the last thing you need to do is head back to the temple again within the dungeon and place that second charged relic in the second object, the second podium right here. At this point, you're going to get a lot of talking, some dialogue, but at the end of the dialogue, boom, you're going to get your first Praxic blade upgrade from this process, Offensive Form. This is a really cool one. It will actually increase the damage to the maximum amount of damage the Praxic blade can deal, and it's already cooking. Now, at the same time, your quest is going to update and you have the same 3 objectives: artifact found, dungeon cleared, and relic returned. So you're going to progress with the Equilibrium dungeon until you beat the first encounter, and this time you want to board the ship. Then, after boarding the ship, you're going to make your way through the first jumping puzzle on your way to the second encounter. But before you get to the second encounter, specifically in this part right here, as you can see, we have another taken sphere. So you are going to hit this with your lightsaber. Once again, everyone needs to be standing within it to start, and you're going to progress forward. You're going to have more of these failed apprentices with immunity shields. So you're going to need to head forward until you find these forgotten eyes. They're going to be located usually like all the way down hallways. You need to charge that up as quickly as possible until you get the rank of master in order to take that shield down. This time, however, as you can see, there's actually a switch you need to hit to open up another room which contains an eye to help you get to master. Then you can kill this fallen guy and keep going. What you actually need to do is backtrack and then head back to this original area. You need to actually shoot the power cores that will open up the side of the ship, and then you need to jump to the other side to continue with this section. Now, we actually ran out of time. We didn't do this fast enough. If that happens to you, as you can see, everyone simply needs to go back to that shadow pool on the ground, and when everyone is standing within it, it will start another time trial. So this time we went faster, we got that failed apprentice down, we jumped to the other side of the ship, and when we did, we slayed out on ads. There's some acolyte eyes around here you want to make sure you hit, and then one of them is found in the back corner right here, and more will be found throughout this area. Specifically, you need to unlock the vents that are covered up right here. So we need to charge up to master by finding all these eyes. Be aware of this switch right here. Hitting it will open up another area with an eye inside to let you get to master. Once we kill the fallen apprentice, then as you can see, that bubble will appear above the blockade for these vents. I can shoot the vents, shoot the explosives, and I actually need to jump down it, as you can see right here. So at the bottom, I have some more guys I need to kill. There's some more eyes you need to destroy, and specifically in this room here, you can build back up to master. And then you'll be able to destroy this barrier, hit the switch, and boom, that will teleport you back into the normal dimension where you will get another artifact. After this, guys, you're going to, guess what, beat the dungeon as normal. Once you do, then you're going to have to load back into the dungeon, specifically heading again to that Praxic temple to place down the third artifact. So you're going to do that right here, as you can see. And then after some dialogue, you will get the Invigorating Blade Focus for your Praxic blade, and your quest step will update with the same 3 objectives you've had before: artifact found, dungeon cleared, and relic returned. So you're going to head through the dungeon as you normally do until after you've completed that second encounter. So after you've killed this boss right here, Harrow. Now, once you do kill Harrow, you're going to progress in that second jumping puzzle until before you get to the final boss. So it will be within this jumping puzzle. Specifically, once you get out into this open area here, you will see that taken sphere right here. So smack it, and then everyone stand in the pool it creates. And this time, you're going to have a lot of stuff you need to destroy. Specifically, right in front of you, you have some shielded guys, but you actually aren't able to build up all the way to master. What you want to do is use your shadow push ability to literally push these shielded guys off the edge, as you can see right here. After doing so, you're going to progress further on. You will actually have something you can hit your lightsaber with that will open up this door, as you can see, and then you're going to get into this massive open area here. And in this open area, once again, we have another failed apprentice that is here. You boop them off the edge, and we have a ton of those taken spheres that spawn. So every one you hit with your lightsaber, as you can see, will create a platform you can jump on. So your goal is to create a bunch of these platforms, and you have to activate the right amount of switches. Now, importantly, to activate these switches, you will need enough of a shadow meter, and you're going to need some time to do so. Importantly, creating these platforms to jump on will also often, as you can see, spawn an eye with them, which will extend your time. So, in terms of these switches you need to hit, there's going to be one right here on this pipe. Then there's going to be another one right here on this ledge somewhat nearby. And then on the opposite side of this arena, on the very far side, we have another one right here, guys. Now, after hitting all of these switches, as you can see, this pipe opened up for us and we could have jumped through, but we just ran out of time. We thought we were looking for another switch. So if that pipe opens up, you should be good. Another time we got all those switches, the pipe did not open up. So we were like, what the heck are we doing wrong? Well, actually, I ended up hitting the original switch that you usually need to get through this part. And then that seemingly opened up the pipe. And again, we ran out of time. The third time, we didn't hit the switch I just mentioned. We hit the 3 pipes we did the first time and the door opened up. So I just want to throw in, if it doesn't work for you, you might want to hit that 4th pipe. Again, you just smack the original, switch. You smack the original switch you smack to get through this encounter when you're not in the Shadow Realm. But for most of you guys, you hit those 3 switches, you should be good to go. The pipe is going to open up, and you're going to head inside. Eventually, you're going to come across this room right here. We have a bunch of enemies you need to kill, a bunch of eyes you need to destroy to get Shadow Master. You know the drill. You're going to open up this barrier to hit this switch, and then you can grab the final relic. At this point, simply continue to the final encounter, beat the boss, and then you will get another special relic. Your relic will be integrated. This is where I actually got the dark matter crystal, as you can see, lucky. And then you're going to head back to that temple one more time, guys. You're going to interact with that final podium. Soon after, you will get the Gyro Core for your Praxic Blade, which will apply an elemental debuff based on your super on enemies you hit with a thrown Praxic Blade. Incredibly powerful. And then your quest step will update, and it says now that you need to defeat the lingering shade of Dredgen Seer and restore the Praxic Temple. So specifically, what you need to do is you activate these relics, and then you're going to have a taken orb appear. You can destroy that, and there's also a place you can put a rally flag. You're probably going to want to do that first. At this point, guys, standing on this taken pool will teleport you into this brand new area where you have this shade boss right here. So In this area, you build up your shadow ranking by destroying these scions. You just need to slay out on a bunch of scions. Now, importantly, you kind of have a choice of what to do, because if you get to Shadow Master, you then need to go to the boss and interact. You need to compel this boss just like you do in the Shadow Realm in the normal boss fight of Equilibrium, right? But that is then going to take away your shadow ranking, and you may instead want to kill some of these failed apprentices or destroy their shields and then kill them, because if you do, that, as you can see, will let you open up some of these side rooms here. So it's kind of your choice. Do you want to focus all on the boss, but if you need more time, you may need to kill these apprentices and then, you know, get more ranking from the eyes located in the rooms they just unlocked. On top of that, guys, while you're slaying out in here, you're also going to have shadow orbs spawn in the sky, just like you did with the last thing. If you throw your Praxic blade at them, it will create actual platforms you can stand on, and often these platforms will lead to more eyes so that you can have enough time in order to do all of this stuff. But eventually, and this is irregardless of which path you choose, do you want to just slay out on ads and try to focus on the boss, or do you want to be getting those apprentices? Do you want to be hitting the orbs in the sky to jump up and kill the eyes to build up ranking that way? It's up to you, but no matter what path you choose, you're going to have to compel the Shade of Seer 3 separate times. Once you do, the shield will go all the way down, and this boss will actually go up to the very top of these platforms that you created. And from here, you're going to DPS. Now, the Praxic blade itself does more than enough damage, honestly. Like, this boss doesn't have that much health, but unfortunately, there is going to be a health gate. Once you get to half health, you have to do that same thing all over again. So you can see us, like, we're slaying out in ads. We may kill an apprentice or two. You know, we are spawning those platforms when we can to jump on them to get those eyes, to extend the time, and so on. You can see all that in the background gameplay. Eventually, once the boss again has been compelled 3 times, then she is going to teleport back to that platform, the same platform up at the top. You're going to finish this boss off, and then that is going to complete the main part of this quest line. You will instantly get the final exotic catalyst for your Praxic blade, as well as a couple of tier 5s apparently from the dungeon. And also, guys, then you have something very important that is also going to be available. So at this point, you can see I can go and interact with this object here. I can commune, and it's going to bring up a menu, and then, as you can see, this is going to be how I focus, how I attune certain dungeon weapons. So if I want the machine gun, I can attune that machine gun, and that will make that machine gun drop more. It will help me farm it. So at this point, forever, basically, as you're doing your dungeon run, you want to always come here and attune what weapon you actually want. But the first time you open this, I'm sure you've noticed, the Heirloom exotic catalyst is here. And so, guys, if you attune this catalyst, then you simply need to do the first encounter of this dungeon. And as you can see right here, guys, eventually, when you do complete that first encounter, out of that encounter chest, you will just outright get the exotic catalyst for the Heirloom. And then all we have left to do is go back to Tharsis Outpost, talk to Anor, just to wrap up the quest. You don't get anything else. But there you go, guys. That is how to complete the way between and get just a ton of very useful upgrades. Guys, that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus. That is linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.